Back in 2005, the search giant Google quietly spent $50 million to buy a 22-month-old startup called Android. Today, that single purchase powers 3.3 billion active devices, holding 70% of the global smartphone market. To understand why a search engine company bought a mobile operating system, we have to look back at the internet landscape of the mid-2000s. Web traffic was clearly shifting away from desktop computers and toward mobile phones. But there was a major bottleneck. The physical networks were tightly controlled by telecom carriers, who dictated exactly what users could access. Add to that the looming presence of Microsoft. They already owned the PC operating system market, and if they managed to replicate that monopoly on mobile phones, Google would be locked out of the future entirely. Google co-founder Larry Page saw the writing on the wall. He wasn't interested in the logistics of manufacturing and selling physical hardware. He simply needed an insurance policy to guarantee that Google search would never be blocked from mobile web browsers. Buying Android was a purely defensive maneuver. It was a $50 million shield designed to protect a multi-billion-dollar search monopoly from being choked off at the source. Once the Android team was inside Google, they deployed an unusual strategy. Instead of charging a licensing fee for their new operating system, they made Android open source and completely free for any manufacturer to use. Then, in 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone. This sleek, touchscreen device instantly made traditional mobile phones look obsolete, sending panic through the ranks of established hardware manufacturers and wireless carriers. Google capitalized on that panic. They formed the Open Handset Alliance, offering terrified competitors like HTC, Motorola, and Samsung a ready-made, high-quality software platform to fight back against Apple. By eliminating the massive cost of developing an in-house operating system, these manufacturers could quickly rush physical devices like the HTC Dream to market, proving the open-source model actually worked in the real world. Giving the software away for $0 instantly converted a disorganized group of hardware rivals into a unified, massive, and entirely free distribution network for Google. But there was a catch. While the bare-bones version of Android was free, accessing the crucial Google Play Store required manufacturers to sign a strict contract known as the Mobile Application Distribution Agreement, or MADA. Under MADA, hardware makers were legally obligated to pre-install Google's core suite of apps, like YouTube, Gmail, and Google Maps, and place them prominently on the home screen while setting Google as the default search engine. Because these companies didn't have to spend millions developing software, they could drive the cost of their hardware down dramatically. This made smartphones affordable for billions of people, allowing Android to conquer cost-sensitive emerging markets. Today, in developing nations, Android is essentially the entire mobile internet. In India, for example, the operating system commands a 95% market share. This flowchart outlines the resulting ecosystem flywheel. A free operating system allows for cheap devices. Cheap devices bring in billions of users. And those billions of users attract millions of developers who build apps, creating a permanent lock-in effect for the consumer. Google willingly surrendered upfront software revenue in exchange for a direct, unbreakable pipeline to the global user's digital attention. This strategy proved that high hardware profit margins are unnecessary if you control the digital toll booth where every transaction takes place. Google directly monetizes this control by taking a 30% cut of the massive volume of global app sales and in-app purchases flowing through the Play Store. This chart illustrates traffic acquisition costs, or TAC, money Google pays rivals like Apple to remain the default search engine. But by owning Android, Google saves an estimated $7.5 billion annually in fees they'd otherwise pay out. And beyond direct sales and saved fees, the platform constantly funnels billions of granular behavioral data points directly back into Google's core advertising empire, making their ad targeting more precise and profitable. Google saw the mobile internet coming, and instead of just adapting to it, they bought the underlying infrastructure. They proved that you don't need to sell a product if you own the entire platform it runs on.